Welcome to the assets gathering lesson, and here I'm going to show you the main websites I use to gather assets for my videos. The first one is accounts8.com. The way I use this is I simply type in a word and there are plenty of free icons that I can use. As you can see, by typing meal, I'll get this icon, this icon, this icon, this icon, all of those kind of stuff. You can search for styles here to filter them if you want them hand drawn, colored, not colored, filled, outline, all of that kind of good stuff. And if you download one of these, for example, this one, you can switch the background color, make it transparent, make it white. And a good thing to know is that when you download it, you're going to download it in either 50 by 50 or 100 by 100, which is pretty small. So once you download it in a 100 by 100, you should go right here on this website, which is I Love Image. You go on Upscale Image, and you're going to enter your thing. And as you can see, it's going to upscale. You can see it before and after, and you can even upscale it by 4x, and you're going to get a way more defined icon. So this is before, this is after. You can simply click on download and you're going to have it. And this is one of the websites that I use. And then there is the main one that I use for motion graphics, which is cheater.video. When it comes to Jitter, you simply log in completely free, and then you're going to go on templates right here. And there are so many templates that you can use. The ones I use the most are the animated search bar, the progress bar, and the notifications because they're really easy to implement and they're usually used in almost any video. There is also a paid plan if you want to export in 4K 120 FPS, but I don't have this. I just simply export in 720 pixels and it's completely fine. For example, if I wanted to use this progress bar, I would simply click on it, duplicate, and then I would just simply play it. If I want to customize it, I could simply go right here, progress, design, and change it to, I don't know, blue. And I could maybe change the background to black or something like this. And then you go back, you click on animate, and you go back to the start, and this is how it looks like. It's pretty cool. You can export in the speed you want. I usually export in 1x. And that's a really cool way to create motion graphics for free. You can also use social handles and your company logos, and you have plenty of more motion graphics that you can use, which is extremely cool. Sliding, animations, and all of this cool stuff. And then there is the most useful website of all of them, Canva. Here I get most of my PNG assets and I animate them myself in the editing software. The way I use them is I simply create a presentation, then I name it assets, and I simply go on elements, and here I have tons of assets that I can use in the graphics. So I'll go ahead and search, for example, for working. There are plenty of graphics. I could use this one, for example. I could use it black. And then, for example, I could go ahead, click on download, transparent background, and then I can re-import it once again in Canva, make it as big as it was before, and then click on edit, shadow, glow, and as you can see, I'll change this to white. I'll make the background black so that you can see this better. As you can see, I now have a beautiful glowing icon. I have a collection of around 20 of these in my free assets pack that you can find by watching the last lesson. And this is just one of the multiple examples we can use this. And I'll actually show you in detail how to use Canva now, because now we're going to create assets for the video that we have just created in the lesson before on masking. So I'll go ahead and start getting some assets. What I'll need is a Polaroid frame. So I'll go ahead and get this. Actually, I'll get this one because I want it to be blank in the middle. And I'll make this a bit smaller. And what I'll do now is go ahead and go on elements, all, and search for a square or a rectangle. Then make this as big as the Polaroid. I'll make it black so that I'll make it green so that I can clearly see where it is over. So right here, I'll do the same here, and I'll do the same here. There we go, and I'll do the same on top, just making sure to be as precise as possible. Now, what I will do is go ahead and use some border. Around 5 should be enough, and I'll make it blue because that's what was used in the video. And then I'll go ahead and eat this thing right here in the middle, which is a no color basically. I'll also make the background green. So now, as you can see, we have our Polaroid frame with the square inside, which is aqua. So I'll open a new page now and I'll look for a rope here that I can use for the other effect that we need. I'm not getting any realistic ropes, so go ahead and type realistic. Okay, if I go on photos, I'll find some actual ropes. I don't mind them, they're not too bad. I'll go ahead and use this one, I think. So let's go ahead and put it here. I now have my rope. So let's go ahead and create the thing that Sunny V2 has created. Something like this. And then it got moved like so. And then we move it once again. And then yes, just copy it, paste it, and I'm just going to do like so. I'll drag everything like so, make everything smaller, like this, rotate this a bit. All right, now I'll make sure to merge this a bit better, like this, and then I'll merge this better as well. Okay, I'll do the same here. I want this to be above, so I'll go on layer, bring forward. All right, that's not bad at all. I'll now look for a pole like Sunny had. I'll go for realistic. Okay, if I look for drying rack pole, I'll find this, which is kind of what I'm looking for. This kind of pole. And it actually looks like a stick. So I can probably go ahead and search for wooden stick. And I'm actually kind of finding what I want. However, I want them to be realistic. I can't seem to find anything good, so I think I'll just go ahead and use one of these sticks. I think I'll go with this one right here. So I'll quickly go on adjust and make it less bright and more brown so that it actually looks a bit more like the rope. So I'll go ahead and move everything upwards and make this like this. Actually make this smaller. That's perfect. I want to make everything here a bit smaller. I'll move everything a bit upwards and then I'll move this on the other side like so. Okay, I'll move everything in the middle now and we are now getting somewhere. We have now the pole and the rope and now the only thing left to add are pegs. So I'll go ahead and choose one that I like. So I'll go ahead and choose this one. I'll go on edit. I'll look for duotone and I'll use sea blue or actually this color right here. And then I'll copy and paste and go once again on duotone and use a pink color, this one, so that I have both blue and aqua as in Sunny's video. I'll make it more enhanced by changing the color grading. So what we will need though is to export the pegs separately. So I'll duplicate the page, remove everything but this, duplicate once again, put this in the middle and remove. All right, perfect. And now that we have these, we have the pegs, we have the Polaroid, we have the rope. So I've gone ahead and taken pictures from the video from Sunny V2 so that we can now upload them right here on the Polaroids. So I'll start with the first one. I'll put it right here, make it a bit smaller, layer, send to back, and this is perfect. And then I'll go for the other one right here. I'll make it like this, layer, send to back. I'll make it a bit bigger. Is it good? It is. And then I'll do this for all of the images so that I'll get the Polaroids. And that's how I usually go about creating hooks for my videos. You need to go through this kind of process so that you can get some good results and assets so that you can then use them in the editing software. Because if you don't go ahead and do this beforehand, you're going to struggle in the editing software where you have to redivide everything. And I just rather have everything prepared before going in the editing software because it's going to be way quicker afterwards. So right here we have a picture from Sneeko. A couple of things which are a little bit important. If you wanted to have high resolution peak, you could either search for better ones on Google and not just take them from Sunny V2's video, or you could also use the upscaler I showed you earlier or any other AI upscaler. It's going to make your images better, and that's going to result in higher quality pictures and, of course, better overall animation in the end. So I'll go ahead and create this last one, and I'll put it like this, and then I'll go layer, send to back, and then trim this. Something important to notice is that in the video from Sunny V2, it doesn't have backgrounds on the images. So I'll go ahead and click on layer, show layers, so that I can click here and then click on edit photo background remover. And as you can see, the background is removed. I'll go ahead and do the same here. So I'll click on show layers, this, and then background remove. I should have done this earlier, but I just realized that that's how it was. So I'll just remove the backgrounds of everything. And now that I've removed the background, I'll go ahead and add a background to the image. I'll go for this one. I'll remove the saturation like so that it's monocolor. I'll make it brighter. And then I'll go here and search for noise, graphics, and I'll get some noise to add to the picture. Perfect. Then I'll go ahead and group, make this smaller, put it right here, and then go on layer and send to back. And this is going to create the background. I'll paste it here, layer, send to back, and I'll do the same here and on all of these pictures. And now, as you can see, we have our pictures like that, and we have all the assets to create our animation. So I just wanted to show you how I actually create assets for my videos instead of just giving you general websites to create assets. And you've just seen in the lesson beforehand how I use them. So that's perfect. I'll see you in the next lesson where we're going to talk about 3D animations. That's going to be by far the most advanced lesson of this whole course, even more than masking. So I wish you a good learning.